I ain't even flipped the damn thing.
I'm about to say, you can't even see if it's recording.
I'm getting it together, y'all. I'm getting it together. There we go. What's going on? Oh, yeah, I really got to straighten up here. What's going on, YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with a new video. I know you guys ain't see us last week. I was supposed to do a video, then I was like, no. Your car is good now?
Yeah, my car's good.
That's good. Everything is good. I know y'all was looking for a podcast. No podcast. Sorry, y'all, but we're going to be back this week with the podcast. I do want to say thank you to those who have been listening to the podcast, because a lot of y'all really have been anticipating on the weekends for the podcast. And
that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. It's really a good thing. Each time it comes out, it's more listeners. Every other week. Not every other week, every week. And that's a good thing. And for those who haven't listened, I do hope that you listen. I mean, by now it's going on 2 years in August that we've been doing a podcast. So I'm just asking for you guys who normally don't listen, just to listen. Just turn us on. Just let us play in the background. And you don't have to see our faces. It's still, the energy is still there. It's definitely there. I think even more sometimes than on YouTube. But please check out the Scorpion Show podcast. You can listen on Spotify. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts, except for SoundCloud. Everywhere else except for SoundCloud. Okay, so download us and have a listen. For those who've been worried about me, you can still be worried. Just pray for me. Just pray for me. It's been I've just been thinking okay, it's been a year. It's not just been tomorrow actually makes a year, but today is the day we had, me and Mikkel finally got back together, and we did a live video, and then I remember my niece screaming, and then me going downstairs, and then it was just a whole fiasco that day. It was just a whole.
What happened? You said a year. What's a year?
With my mom going to the hospital and everything. That's been like a whole year. So it's been having me down. I talked to my sister about it. She's one of those, I don't really think about dates and all. Well, I think about dates. I remember everything. I'm just one of those people. Because, I've been through all the thoughts, what could I have done? Oh, it was my fault. I should have did this. Or whose fault is it? And if I would have did this wouldn't have happened. I think about all of that. That should be fucking oh my God, especially if I'm in a place like this sitting by myself, those thoughts just come instantly. And when I'm at work, I get some thoughts, but not as many thoughts because I don't have time to sit there in my thoughts. And especially today wasn't one of those, oh my God, when I tell you that phone rang, and the next person rang, the next person, hello.
Monday morning.
Yes, bitch, I come back from break, hit all the way, ring. Oh my God, bitch. And then I even stayed even a little bit longer. I was I'm gonna stay.
I don't even think I missed that. Oh God, I feel your pain. I did it for 7 years.
It was crazy.
I know.
Oh my God, man, make money. Everybody gets paid.
Don't stop.
Yes,
Don't stop.
That first Monday. I'm y'all had all weekend to get what y'all had to get.
Yep.
And then y'all want to wait till Monday.
Yeah.
Stop playing. You don't get paid on Monday. Everybody get paid on Friday. You got Friday to do it, Saturday to do it, Sunday to do it. You say, you know what? No, I'm going to call Monday. I'm going to call you on Monday. I didn't mean to try to talk to you. I don't know why it sent me to you. You know what? Look, you're here. And if you don't want to talk to me, here's what you could do. But yeah, that's what I've just been up to. But I haven't let it I haven't gotten too down, but I've just been feeling some type of way. And then it don't help when your family is not getting along and people hear dumb shit. People make up rumors, and then their children start believing dumb shit. When you could come to me, I don't have to lie to you about a motherfucking thing. I'm really getting mad about that.
I haven't seen you in a week. What did I miss?
No, it's just stupid.
What did I miss?
Stupid shit. People come up with their own reasonings for a lot of stuff.
Well, that's because they know that they're in the wrong.
Right, and then they say, you know what? No, because it's not. So it wasn't supposed to be this way. So you're telling us one thing, then you're telling your children one thing. Then you coming
Playing
back
the
and
fence.
say, like
Fence.
stop playing with me. That's why I don't pick
Playing
up the phone no more.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm done. Because I'm done with you and your motherfucking lies. Stop lying to your children. They don't got nothing to do with it anyway. Okay? Yes. Barbara had us, not them. She raised them.
She didn't have
us.
So your responsibility.
Yes. So they just get.
Well, she needs somebody in her corner.
Listen, you could be in your corner.
But I'm saying she needs somebody in her corner because she knows she's in the wrong.
Yeah, but so what? Fuck that. Stop being wrong. Being in the wrong. Like, if you have an opinion, come up with your, say what you think. But you might not like how things are. But look, we all chose what we chose. Now you want to renege. Like, I don't want to hear that shit.
You want to renege now just in case the situation that you're in now don't work out. So then you can go back to square one. No, you're not going back to square one. You're not.
No. So it's just been crazy. And it's like this is the second Easter, but these like holidays that my mom
enjoy.
She loved to cook. What? You want to talk about cooking, bitch?
I called my sister maybe about. There was the last incident y'all had. I think it had something to do with the tombstone. That was like a few weeks ago, and I called my sister to tell my sister about what was going. Because you had just texted me the messages. You had just texted me the messages, and I called my sister, and I thought that was DMX. I called my sister, and I said, "Listen," I explained to my sister what was going on with y'all, and I said, "Listen here, we better not go through anything like that when something happened to mom and dad." I said, "Because if we do, you can have everything. I'm not arguing with you about nothing. You can have it. I'm going to still love you." She said, "No, why would we?" And then I started telling her, and she said, "Yeah, it just sounds like, this like what we've been saying. It sounds like somebody's just now trying to pull the curtains over people's eyes now, because now they feel like they want." You want to say stuff, but then you don't want to say it. But you know what I mean? Yeah.
Because it just makes me upset. It just makes me upset.
Just sowing confusion.
Right.
You telling this person, like you say, you telling them something, and they're believing it.
Because you're coming mom.
Back, yeah, instead of thinking. And there's too many of them not to be thinking.
And that's why, like, I be like, fuck it. Like, that's why I stay. I don't listen. After Gigi brought some more stuff back here, which I'm over. She like, no, because you need that vision board. It's like, I told you I don't need it. Just save the picture. No, she brought it here. She should have given my address. Now, I'm on my way. Let me bring this to you.
Don't bring nothing.
Yeah, then she brought something to me. I said, I really don't like this. So I was like, that's why I left it here. And then she brought it here anyway. I'm like, now I'm really not putting it.
Well, isn't she going?
Wow. Sorry, y'all. It's just a whole mess. But with all that going on, it's like you still can't even properly grieve. Because they thinking you plotting against them. Right. It is no plot. It was what it was.
Right. It's no plot.
No plotting. Like, we family. But now I'm just like, fuck them. Because I don't have to deal with this. And that's why I just do what I do. I don't have no reason to be in Northfield. No reason. The guy next to work at the store. Oh no, you coming back here for what? Oh no, because I don't need to come back down to Northfield. Tell me, no, this area needs you.
This area needs you. What was you doing in the area before you left?
I don't know, but if he needed me, all he had to do is give me his number.
Oh, I didn't know you talking about.
He could have did something about that. Okay.
The son, right?
Yeah. And if you watch this video, hey, you know how to find me.
Oh my god! Oh my god! And he's built just like his mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, look, I ain't looking at his mother, but
his mother is built. She's built.
Yeah. A whole booty.
He said this area needs you. Do they need me or do you need me? Okay. Come on, don't talk in circles. Yeah. Because I won't be down here for too much longer. So let's.
I wouldn't have been ready even if I said that. I can't believe I said that.
Oh, I would have said it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have no shame in my game.
But it was cool.
The older I get, the more blunt I become. So, what are we doing? What do you mean, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Are we going to sit here and just play mind games?
Well, I'd rather spend, next month is Mother's Day. I'm gonna go to her grave, or I might not. I don't know. I'm undecided. Go together. Yeah, I'm undecided. You know what? After how things have been turning out, I don't want to spend no fucking day with them. I really don't want them to even go that day. That's how I feel about it.
I don't think they're all gonna go.
Like, I don't want them to go at all. Like the way,
Who's Who gonna take them?
I don't know, but the way this tombstone situation is turning out, bitch, don't show up. Don't call. Don't show up. Don't do a motherfucking thing.
So do y'all still need money for it?
No, it's not about needing money.
Well, I know you don't need it. Hey, yeah, I know you don't need it, but I'm saying, what I'm asking is, do y'all have it?
I don't even know, because I haven't talked to Gigi about it. I haven't talked about it no more. I'm just like, fuck them. But I don't want them to. I don't want them up there taking pictures and all of that shit.
Well, there's nothing there to take pictures of.
But I'm saying, but when it is there, I don't want them taking pictures. I don't want them doing none of that.
Acting like they was a part of it.
Right. I don't want none of that fake shit.
What are you going to do if they do post it and take pictures?
Oh, I'm going to write on their picture. And I'm going to talk my shit. And Nina almost got it the other day.
What did she say?
I don't even remember, but it was just like, get out of here with this fake shit.
This fake shit. It be behind the scenes stuff that people just don't even
right. You know. All right, so I'm sorry. I had to vent a little bit. I had to get that shit out. So
she started some fake shit. What was it, on Facebook?
But yeah, you know, she always posting something. Out of here, these fake ass quotes and
this is not Nina.
I will survive. Bitch, you don't even talk like that.
She sure don't. Everything is yeah. What the fuck? Who the fuck took him like? You don't talk like that. That's what that guy who was messing around last week with his wife and it was all over social media. That's what his mistress said when he was interviewing his mistress. She said he doesn't even talk like that, quoting God.
Derek Jackson.
Yeah, she said when he's with me, he's talking about how he can get money, how he can scheme and ply. He don't talk like that.
Yeah, you know what? We don't have no notes for today. If you look at this, y'all, it's empty. It's a blank page, bitch. So, speaking of him, why, like, can he just be canceled? Like,
yes.
And all the people y'all want to cancel, y'all always talk about this cancel. Y'all can cancel him. Y'all can cancel all the people that's hating on Lil Nas X. Now, we haven't talked about that. We haven't been around to discuss that. But, you know what? That young boy got something. To be 21, to be able to cause mass hysteria at 21, he knows how to work your minds.
He has the right marketing team.
He has the right marketing team. He's doing the damn thing. But I still ain't watched the video.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't watched it. You know what? I'm getting too old for this shit. Because I don't really like these young people. They don't make music like that. We're going to get to the verses. Don't worry. We're going to get there. But, you know, I'm happy that he's able to captivate the world. He got good, like his tweets are everything. He's been able to capitalize off what he's done with selling shoes until Nike stepped in. But then then the mail had to get Nike together. Like, how y'all getting Lil Nas X together for infringement? But then y'all want to be out here infringing the USPS. And the USPS said, bitch, we don't get paid for none of this stuff. But we want to know why they making shoes imitating us.
Right.
So now I hope that the USPS files a lawsuit against y'all so them shoes don't come out. So y'all know how I feel. Like, y'all just coming at anybody. You know, that little boy ain't trying to hurt nobody. He's just trying to make a couple dollars. He's living his life. I wish we had an artist like that when we were coming up, but we didn't. Like, we are, you know, people have crawled. Some people have walked and stumbled. People are now, like, running and starting to leap over the fucking, what you call them, the hurdles. When I forgot the kind of race. But they hopping over hurdles now. Like, they get in there. It's like, you don't have to like me, and that's fine. You can say whatever you want about me, and I'm just going to keep moving forward. Like, being called gay should not be like, okay, you hurt me for calling me that. Say, so what? So what? It don't matter. It don't matter. All of that, oh, you gay. Really? Really? Ain't nobody talking like that. I don't really hear people talking like that. I only hear dumb kids on the train talk like that. And they don't know what's going on. Like, and I heard these sailor kids on the trolley on Saturday. And I was just like, where are their parents?
Just cussing.
Cussing. And can't even
cuss. They can't even fucking
right. You know?
They just cussing.
Just to do it. Like it's a thing. You know, when you see a lady turn her head and you still keep doing it.
They don't have no type of
Yeah. They had no type of respect. I don't know what kind of kids y'all raising, and I say y'all because it's this generation. Like we didn't have like our generation was the last generation where somebody see your child doing something, they can say something to your child and will probably rip them up. And now you can't do that no more. You can't be ripping nobody's children.
You can't even say nothing to these kids.
No, and bitch, you better not. For what? Oh, then now y'all fighting because you said something to my child. You told my child not to say this, even though you right. Who are you? Who the fuck you think you are? Talk to my son. You don't buy this for my child. You don't do this for my child. You can't tell them what the fuck to do. Then when you send your children to school, you think that the teacher is the fucking babysitter. That teacher is there to teach your child. Your children should not be disrupting classes. You know, I could vent about that too. I just hope that, you know, my nephew and his ex-girlfriend, you know, I hope when it comes to Chase that if they say Chase is running his mouth, I hope they do something about it. You know, they ain't got to kill him, but I know Shakina, you know, she don't play no fucking game. She's one of the parents that do beat their children. And I mean, I'll be agreeing with it. But I'll be like, damn, don't fuck them up too much. You know what I'm saying? But...
But she don't play that disrespect stuff.
No, she don't.
She don't play that.
No, she don't.
She don't play that disrespect. She don't play kids being disrespectful. Now that I like about her. Me and her agree with that. She said, "Oh, I don't know how they do stuff in here, but I don't play it with my daughter." I said, "I know that's the fuck right."
Yes. You know,
she said, "Mom, don't talk to me like that."
Yes, they better not.
You will get the back end of this hand across your fucking mouth, and you think you're gonna disrespect?
Or you raising your voice to me?
Oh, you talking back?
What I tell you? So yeah, I just think that Nas is doing his thing. Who else was showing out last week? Let me tell y'all. So it was something that came on besides the Tina Turner documentary, which was amazing.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to talk about that.
Let's go.
I just want to talk about that.
Let's go.
Because I said I was going to watch it.
Yes. Oh, what you
then I watched. No. It's just that it was so much that I was watching. Then I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I watched that and I watched King Kong versus Godzilla, which was really good. Like that type of stuff. Yeah, everybody was talking. Oh God, it was so good. The action, I mean, the fight scenes, it was good. So I watched that at work, and then after I got finished that, I turned on Tina Turner at work. So to let you know, I got a lot of free time at work. Both of them was long. So Tina fucking Turner. This new documentary on HBO Max called Tina. It is so good. I think it's the movie times 2.
Yeah.
Because now you actually, there's a backstory, and now you actually have her narrating what's going on. And I love how they did in this documentary, they used her interview that she did from 1981 when she first talked about Ike beating on her. They used that as like the narration for the whole documentary because it was just basically her in that interview describing, you know, their relationship. But it was so good because I was just like, you already knew that they had a tumultuous, you know, marriage. But to actually hear her talk about it and to hear like people close to her talk about it. That one picture that she showed with her after she had got punched in the eye, and her eye, you know, it had healed, but it was still like a blood clot or something in her eye. I was like, oh my God. And then that one scene when they were, this had to be like in the 70s, and they were in the studio going back and forth, and then when he went to go reach behind her for something, she kind of like jerked. She got a little nerve. I said, oh my God, like, that's that traumatic, you know, from him.
That PTSD.
Yeah, beating on her. But it was so good. I love, too, how she explained that her and her mother didn't have a good relationship because her mother basically was how her mother was in the movie. You know?
I was surprised that her mother was willing, well, her mother didn't know she was going to be on camera. But,
no.
Because that was an old interview.
Yeah, that was an old interview, yeah.
I'm sure she's passed on by now.
Oh, yeah, her mother died. Yeah, her mother died years ago in the 90s. Her mother died. But to think, she felt like, you know, even though me and my mother didn't have this good relationship, she still took care of her mother. She still took care of her mother until her mother's dying day. You know, she took care of her mother. It was so good. Like, it was so good.
I mean, it started from the beginning. It started, like, from the beginning of just, how she got discovered.
No, it started way before that. When she talked about how her mother and father left and she didn't know, they never even sent, she said my mother didn't send money for us. She ain't sent no clothes for us. She just left. She said she just left.
Mm-hmm. Everybody had to fend for them.
Everybody had to fend for themselves. She said I think the mother left first and then the father ended up leaving. Or the father left first. Whatever it was. Went down. But they both left. Yeah. Left her and her sisters with an aunt or somebody to fend for themselves. She said my mother didn't send us nothing back. And I think that was the beginning of her relationship, bad relationship with her bad relationship with her mother. Because like you left us with no explanation of where you went, why you went, nothing.
They be the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Their children become something.
Then they got their hand out. Like her mother.
All the time.
Like her mother.
Yeah.
Because that was her mother.
Yeah. Her mother was like, y'all always knew she had it. And, oh, no, she didn't. She knows. She this and that. And she ain't never look back. Oh, she didn't tell me none of this stuff.
No, she didn't tell me. No, but Tina said, you know what? My mother and my father fought too. But my mother actually fought back. Kevin, I got chills. I'm sorry, I'm jumping forward, but I got chills watching it when she explained the infamous scene of her Ike in the
running through the room
when she finally said, "I fought back." I got chills because again, we all know that scene from the movie.
Yes,
but to hear her say it, this is actually what happened. Yeah. And she said, "I just said no fucking more," and I said, "Yes," because it's like, how can you just continue to let somebody hit on you?
I remember that scene from the airport when he slapped her. Don't you ever talk to me like that again. Then she kicked him in the ball. I mean, they fought in that fucking number. That's all that's going to my head when you talking about it.
And she said that's how it started. Yeah. Basically, the way it happened in the movie is how she said it happened in real life.
There was no lie.
There was no lie.
You don't have to remember nothing.
She said he hit me that one time and I went and hit him back.
She said we went in that hotel. Yep. And that's how I think about it. Like,
and then she said she gave him a massage too. I gave him a massage. He was asleep. I gave him a massage. Then I grabbed that bag. Yeah, she said he was in the bed. Talking about the movie. Yeah. Well, she said she gave him a massage. He went to sleep, and then she said she grabbed her pocketbook stuff and went across that thing. She said I almost got hit by one of the big trucks.
She's like, all I think is flashing lights. Sometimes that's how it is. Like you trying to get away.
You're just trying to get away. But to think that she endured that for all them years, and that one moment, she said, "I've had enough. You beat me long enough."
I think one of my favorite scenes was her discussing love and how she never had it from nobody, and she never had the genuine. Yeah. That was raw. That was real.
Yeah.
You don't hear people talk like that. And I loved that. I was like, wow.
Even when her son
to be so,
even when her son described how his mother never had any friends, he said, she. And I like how he said, she was a strict mom. She wasn't mean, but she was strict. We had to. But he said, mother never really had any real friends, and she would come home, and her alone time, I guess, was her best time because she got to be by herself. At times, she didn't have Ike around. She didn't, the kids were doing them, and it was just her. He said, my mother never had any friends. It was just always us, or she was torn. So and I just said, wow, like she really, honestly, truly didn't have anybody.
Anything, anybody. And then when she had to start over after losing her, like saying, now see, I didn't, like, the movie dramatized it, like, bitch, you can have it all. But it wasn't really supposed to be that way. But she said, you know what? Keep it all. And then you seen that she had bitch, it was a struggle, bitch. Yeah. All I had is Tina Turner. Now I got to do something about it. Now how many times do I keep going to Hollywood? I'm in Vegas and doing these acts and getting on these shows. And she was doing like how some of these people do. Like they on different shows and all of that. And then it's like, bitch, now we got to get the record deal. We got to do something. But y'all got to remember though, at that time, Tina Turner was in her 40s. So, some people was looking at her like, well, bitch, what you going to do?
She was old.
Yeah, like, what you doing?
She considered herself. And then think about it, too. When you think about it, when she was with Ike, their music was different from when she became a solo artist. When you listen to the music as her as a solo artist and then when she was Ike, it's two different totally sounds. Yeah. Like, the sounds don't even match. Like, she's more rocker when she went off on her own. And it was so sad. It was so good to see because I did not know that it was that much of a struggle for her to make it on her own. Because I'm thinking like, well, damn, she was Tina Turner. Like, of course, it was easy for her, but it was like, no. By the time they divorced and then she started, she was kind of like, well, you has been now.
Yeah,
like
you 40 years old.
Yeah, what are you bringing? You're not really bringing nothing to the table. Yeah. But I mean, oh my God, and to think that she didn't like, what's the song?
What's Love
Got to Do It? Yeah.
I think I seen something before where she hated that song, but I didn't know it was a cover. They did a lot of covers back in the day. Oh my God.
I didn't know it was.
That just was sharing songs. I'm glad they don't do that like that. But I do want to hear some people cover stuff. But
Jacquees does it all the time.
No, he don't be asking. He just
do it.
And sometimes it makes it better. Well, I heard he made somebody's song better, and they got mad.
Oh, well,
it was performing better than the other one. Then they got the song shut down.
I don't know. I ain't hear about that. But
yeah. But just watching it, man, it just made me proud because Tina has transcended generation. When you really think about it, that's every 20 years. A new generation has learned about her or doing something. Mm-hmm. And what I felt after watching this is Tina Turner's goodbye. She said, bitch, I'm going to tell y'all the story one last time.
I'm going to tell y'all the story.
Yeah.
Then I'm done.
And then, like, she was like, when I thought that, every time she kept saying, like, I thought that I was done talking about Ike. Mm-hmm. Here we go.
How about the press junket for the movie? Mm-hmm. When she was sitting there and basically said, I didn't see the movie. I don't plan on watching the movie. Yeah. She's sitting next to the star of the movie. Like, listen, I'm only here because,
Right.
But it made perfect sense. Why would I want to keep reliving the trauma? Because, see, y'all are making a movie about it. I actually lived it. And no movie can ever detail the pain and trauma that I actually went through. Yeah. Like, this movie is only showing certain scenes, but I went through this for years with him. Like, no, I don't want to keep talking about this. No, I don't want to keep rehashing or reliving. No, I don't even want to keep talking about Ike. I don't want to keep talking about him. We're divorced.
Oh, here we go. Oh, y'all want to go there. Oh, this is where we're going today?
Oh, we're going there? Okay, now I'm getting hot. Somebody give me a fan.
Yeah, I can understand why she was getting upset.
Yeah, like, come on. I don't want to keep talking about that.
Yeah, that's not, like, stop talking about it. Like, just like, this reminds me of anytime, like, Kelly or Michelle do an interview, everybody, well, how's Beyonce?
Yeah, like,
what's Beyonce doing? Like, bitch, you here to interview me. Why you got to bring her up? That's kind of like how it is with
no, you're right.
You know, I they was just asking, bitch, I got arrested, bitch. What you think about it?
I don't think anything because he should have got arrested when he was beating on me. But y'all motherfuckers ain't come together. So now that I don't care. I ain't been with him in years.
She said it's been 16 years. I don't think about it.
Now, how much she said she told that guy, yeah, when we get back to LA, I want you to make love to me.
Yes. Because that's what I do sometimes.
Yeah. I don't even, but just fuck me.
And I hope that she experienced genuine true love, being her and
that man have been together for years.
But you know what else I was thinking? It's really like a bond that you have, or you should have when you have your children. That unconditional love, like you should have that. Imagine she had raised a couple children, and still felt that.
You know what I actually love too about the documentary because it explained motherfucking shit. Okay, because it explained the kid situation. Yeah, I didn't know
that she had a baby before. I didn't know that.
Well, with one of the band members, not before. Her oldest son was with one of the band members.
Yeah, no, wait.
Yes,
wait.
With one of the trumpet players.
Her first child was not by Ike.
No, it was with one of the band members.
Right, I didn't remember that
because remember. Her and Ike, she started singing with Ike in the late 50s. But her and Ike didn't really get together, didn't get married until the early 60s. Yeah. So for that time, she was doing her with some of the band members. And she was still young, because she wasn't yet 20 when she started singing with Ike. Because remember she said, I was singing with him, and then on Monday I would go to school. So, and then when I looked at it, when she had her son, she was like 17 or 18 when she had her first child, which was by one of the band members of the thing. But then Ike had 2 kids by somebody else, one of the singers in the thing. I'm like, oh my God.
But they all got kids. They all need to take ancestry tests because you know they was making babies all up and down the highway.
So technically she only has one son
with Ike. Which was
she don't have a bunch of kids with Ike. She just got one child with Ike.
And the movie made it seem like it did. But then I knew that one of the girls dropped the children.
Yeah, Lorraine.
She didn't talk about the girl. That's the girl that shot herself, right?
Yeah. But Lorraine was in the group, wasn't she?
Yeah. I don't know what she was, bitch.
You know what? I remember she mad talking to these old people today about what happened 60 years ago when they was kids. Ooh.
the stories.
We were talking about that yesterday. Me and this girl, we were talking about this on the phone. We were on live, and I was saying something about, and she said, "Oh, I didn't know so and so was related to you." And I said, "Well, they're not necessarily related to me, but their cousins was married to one of my cousins." I said, "But you know, all of us came from St. Joseph." She said, "Oh my God, if people really knew about St. Joseph." I said, "Yeah, that church, everybody dated everybody, and everybody got kids with everybody." I said, "My church was one of them churches where everybody kept it in the church."
Yeah, because one of the stories that he told me about one of the people there. And how she be getting excited when she see one of the people members.
Okay. Okay.
I ain't be like that.
Listen.
Because you get the
flash. The crazy thing is some of the older generation now, they're not old, but they're like in their 50s or 60s. Mm-hmm. A lot of them would tell us, like my generation, they would say, you gotta remember, when we were kids here in St. Joseph, all we did was party with each other. We went to church with each other. The church would have parties for us teenagers, so we always was together. So that's why so many of us got married and had kids with each other. And now a lot of us aren't together anymore, but hey! Oh, this is good tea, okay? What is the tea?
That man ate all that chocolate.
I told you about how one of the old mothers at the church told me. She said, "Yeah, because somebody in the church is related to me, and they don't know that we know that we're related." I said, "Please tell me, oh, please! I want to ask her so bad again." She said, "Yeah." She said, "So they come all the time, but they don't even know we're related." Because it was a whole. I said, "Oh my God, this is good." But I'm just saying, like, when you've been, certain churches are like that too. So it's like, I just found it so fascinating watching this documentary, because when they broke it down, I said, wait a minute, so her and Ike only have one child together.
I do remember after watching that scene that came out, it was one child. I was like, oh wow.
But all these other kids, but she raised all the other kids like they were her own.
Now, was it Ike's child that passed, or
no? Her son that passed was her son.
Okay.
Her oldest son, her first child.
Okay.
That's the one who passed. Yeah. But then Ike's daughter came out a few years ago, because Ike's daughter, she's painting her father as this saint and saying that she don't recall a lot of stuff. But then she also said that, listen, the movie didn't really accurately portray a lot of things, because I actually lived with them for some years, and in the movie you don't see anything about a little girl living with them. Mm-hmm. But the daughter came out and said, I actually lived with them. And it's so crazy because I actually screenshotted a picture of her sitting in between Tina's legs, and this picture was like from the early 70s, and Tina was doing her hair, and she explained, like, I lived with them for some years, but the movie don't even put me in the fucking house with them.
I'm not sure
yeah, but you wasn't Tina's daughter. You was Ike's daughter that he had while he was now married with Tina, and he had.
Ike was doing his.
Can you imagine how many kids he got that he birthed, like he helped create while he was with Tina? Because I don't think they believed in condoms back then.
I don't think it was need to. I mean, you reproduced. You didn't have diseases like you have now. You had them, but not like
now. Yeah, everybody was
AIDS or HIV, bitch.
Yep, everybody was just fucking.
Yep. Oh my God! But I was just thinking, like,
I want to call somebody that's like in their 70s and be like, how come y'all was all, everybody was just fucking back then? Like, what?
First of all, it wasn't, what else were you doing? If you weren't working, this thing was, they had no TVs. But I think they had 18, 20.
They did have TVs.
Not talking about in the, I was going back even further.
No, I'm not talking about that far back.
I mean, but, yeah, bitch, but you still had, the kids got to.
Yeah, they ain't have that much to watch on TV. They ain't have Housewives of Atlanta.
No, they didn't. They had to sit there and listen to fucking
the news,
the stories.
Yeah, the stories. That was the and I Love Lucy.
Let me tell you something. Now I like I Love Lucy and all of that stuff, but to actually think that I would have to sit around on radio and listen, I don't think I could do it. But then, just like the podcast, hey, it's entertaining. But
history has a way of repeating itself.
Yes, it does, because people really listen to radio shows and TV through the radio. And got their stories.
And you know what's so crazy? The way people read newspapers back then, when you stop and think about it, the way people read blogs now is kind of like that. It's just a new form of getting information.
I can't stand newspapers of the day, because first of all, newspaper, they want you to pay $3 for a page, like so thin.
Yeah, I don't buy newspapers today, but I read them. The Metro used to be the best.
Used to, but because they gave Daily News a run for their money, but now I just be like, I only get the Metros to play the crossword puzzles at the back of the book, the back of the book, back of the page, because I'm getting good at remembering words and filling in the words and getting it right. Like I'm becoming an old head now, like playing cryptogram and Sudoku and all that. But these newspapers, they're not as good. The stories are not as good as they used to. And the paper, I remember when the paper used to be 50 cents, bitch. Now you want $2.99 for a newspaper? No,
isn't that crazy? You used to go to the store and really buy a paper for 50 or 75 cents.
Yes.
I remember that too. It was under $1.
Yeah, I used to go to get my aunt.
Because I had to go get it for my dad.
Yeah, for my aunt. She'd be like, give me a Daily News, give me a Pepsi, and give me my Cool 100s. Yep. And they'll all be like under $3. I don't know what's going on. Well, inflation and all of that stuff. But it's still a lot. But first of all, remember when you could buy cigarettes for your parents?
Yeah. I used to buy it for my grandma.
You can't get no cigarettes no more.
Let me tell you something, Kevin. My grandmother died when I was 7 years old. And the fact that I can remember her sending me down to the Chinese store, because from her house, it was a Chinese store, and then the next block, it was a Poppy store. And she would send me down to the Chinese store, because that was closer where she could see me, and send me down to the thing to get her a pack of Newport 100s.
Well, and sometimes my aunt would send me to go play her numbers.
Yeah.
Like...
My mom and dad sent me to play their numbers while I was a kid. I was a teenager and I was going... Yeah, like you can't even do that stuff no more.
You cannot. You bet not even think to do it.
To think that the Chinese store was giving a 7-year-old a pack of cigarettes for their grandmother.
Yes. Well, yeah, because at that time, I don't remember... Before anybody tries to say anything... Because I remember this store in 23rd and Diamond, there used to be a Chinese man in there. We call him Kaka back in the day. Kaka.
Oh, Kaka.
Because you had his store, you had the black lady working there. Her name is Carol. I wonder if she's still alive. But that was his store. And then you had Lucky Gardens. Then you had Sunray. It was, all these stores was owned by Asian people in North Philly.
Yeah.
There was no black stores like that.
No.
You had the barbershops, but... One of those stores.
No.
Yeah, but yeah.
There's a Chinese store in every hood.
Yes, it is. And they at those times, it was crazy. We're not even going to go there today.
She sent me to that store to get them cigarettes for her. Yes.
And do you remember what cigarettes she would smoke?
I just said Newport 100.
Newport 100.
How can I forget? She sent me to go get them.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about nearly 30 years ago, because my grandmother died in 1994. Okay. Yeah. I was a kid running down, and she had a porch, and she'd sit right on the porch, and she looked to her right, and you could see the store, and she would watch me go to the store, and then watch me come on out that store and come back up the street with her cigarettes.
And see, you want to watch it from we had no porch in the project. It was, you had to go across the street, go down Diamond Street, through the buildings or whatever, and go there and come right on back. It was fun time. Like,
those were the days I learned how to do a lot at a young age.
And this was kids were kids.
Yeah, kids were kids. My mother used to put me on the bus by myself. When I used to go to my grandmother's house, my mother would take me to the bus stop, and when we would get on the bus, when I would get on the bus, she'd tell the bus driver he's getting off at 8th and Jefferson, and my mother's gonna be standing at the corner waiting for him. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Oh my goodness. And she said, and when I get to 8th and Jefferson, I sit there, and my grandmother would be sitting right there at the bus stop waiting for me. That's how my mom used to do me. And that's how I learned how to catch the bus by myself. Again, I was about 6 or 7 catching the bus by myself. But you know what's so crazy? Because I wouldn't put a 6 or 7-year-old on the bus now by themselves. But it's crazy because it's like, I thank God that my mom did that, because now that I'm older, it allowed me to what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I wasn't afraid to do things because I had, like, the older I got, the more I ventured out, and I wasn't afraid to venture out by myself because I was already doing certain stuff by myself anyway. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I know my mom probably was like, oh my God, please don't let nothing happen to my child. But at that time, we only had one car. And my dad was working. So my mom, sometimes if my dad wasn't home, my mom was just home without a car. So she would send me, and it was just like, oh my God. And I'll never forget going to church. My grandmother, because my grandmom didn't drive. Had a driver's license, but didn't drive. And when the bus, the 47, it would pass where we would live at on our way to St. Joseph. And so my grandmother would call my mom and say, all right, I'm leaving out, whatever case may be. And then we give it like 15, 20 minutes. And then we walk down to the bus stop. And when we walk to the bus stop, we stay in the bus stop. And my grandmother would be sitting on the front of the bus to let us know she's on that bus. And I know just a few times, if we didn't make it there in time, she'd be pissed because then she'd have to get off the bus. And wait for us to walk down. Wait for us to walk down. But those were the days. Oh my God. Those were the days.
Yeah.
I feel so bad because my grandmother, she got to see all 22 of her grandchildren. But my sister is the only one, my sister's the youngest out of all the grandkids, but my sister doesn't really remember my grandmother because my sister was like 3. She was 3 going on 4 when my grandma died. So she don't really remember her like that. And I would tell my sister, like, you know, you were there. You were at her house a lot, but she don't really remember her. So,
Right.
But those are the days.
Yeah, I remember the first time I caught the bus. It was my first day in middle school, and me and Amber, my mom transferred us out of William Dick, and well, I graduated from there. Amber got transferred to Rhodes because they started at the 5th grade, not the 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But I went there the 6th grade, and my mom told us she walked us down Diamond Street, down Diamond Street to 29th and Diamond. She's like, you take this bus all the way down, and you're going to take this bus all the way back. And she was so happy when she seen us get back home. I mean, to me, I was like, I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
But she was just so...
Who, your mom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
so happy.
And it's so crazy because it's like, again, like I said, wouldn't do that today because of the way everything is today. Now, granted, it was crazy shit going on back then as well. However, the crazy shit that goes on today doesn't even compare to 30 years ago. I mean, these people are just shooting up every fucking thing. Okay? You don't want your child to get hit by no fucking bullet. But I think, you know, you look at it and you say to yourself, some parents, like for instance, I know for instance your mom didn't drive. Some parents really had no choice but to say, I have to send them by themselves because I can't go with them. You know what I mean? And I just hope and pray that they learn and they're able to, you know, and don't nothing happen. So I can only imagine when y'all came home how happy your mom was. Like, thank you, Jesus, they got it. They got it the fuck right. Like, you know, now I ain't got to worry about them because they know how to do it. You know, and I think that's the same thing with my mom. Like, you just be like, I hope and pray that they, you know, of course, no parent wants anything to happen to their child. But then when they see their child walking up the street or whatever, you say, well, thank you, Jesus. They paid attention to what I told them. They paid attention to the directions I told them. They listened to what I said. But like I said, you know, the older I got, I became more comfortable catching the train and the bus. Because I was like, oh, I've been doing this since I was 7 years old. I know how to catch the bus.
I would borrow somebody, my mom, not somebody, either Nina have a trans pass from somebody or Mr. Keith have a trans pass. I would borrow the trans pass and ride downtown on Sundays, and I would just window shop at the gallery back in the day. I was out there, not out there before, this was before I was out there.
But you were,
I was just
you wasn't staying on the block.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I used to have some friends on my block that they didn't go anywhere. You know,
some of them still don't go nowhere.
Yeah, some of them don't. Still
I'm
don't
like,
go.
y'all need to go see
They
the
didn't
world.
go anywhere. They wouldn't even go downstairs. They'd be scared to go downtown. You're like, come on, let's go and go downtown. No, I can't go there. I'm like, look at. I tell y'all all the time. When I left out of the house when I was a kid, my mother and father did not look for me. Okay, I could have been in fucking Los Angeles, California.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
As long as I came home at the time that they told me to come home. My mom used to be like, I'd be coming down the street. My mom would be sitting up and she'd say, where was you at? Oh, I was around the corner. And that would be that. Because I think at the end of the day, as long as you walking up this street and ain't nothing wrong with you, and that's how it was for me. I was all over the city of Philadelphia. I mean, I was everywhere. My mother and father didn't know, but my sister, she knew a little bit about me because I used to always tell my sister, don't say nothing. And she wouldn't. For the most part, my sister wouldn't say a goddamn thing. But my sister, the older she got, she used to be so upset because my mom and dad didn't let her do as much. And I remember having to tell her, that's because you're a girl. I'm a boy. And so, you know, you got to let your sons get out there. You got to let them get out there because boys need to experience the world because you don't want nobody getting over on your sons. You just don't. You want your son to be able to know how to handle certain situations when he's out in the street. You don't want nobody to try, because if somebody comes across a boy or a teenage boy who don't know nothing about the streets or whatever, they'll try to get over on him. And then he'll be sitting there looking stupid with no way home. Because somebody didn't got over on him. You know, but see, my father was from the projects too. So, you know, I had to learn early, like, no, you don't let nobody get over on you. So that's kind of like the way I am, and that's probably why, too, I can maneuver my way throughout the city. And you know that because you drive with me. Because I had to learn. I had to learn at an early age. I really did. And it was just like, now that I know, it's kind of like I thank God that I know. Because, yeah, one of my friends, he's bad with getting around the city. And he's lived here all his life. And I just like, oh, my God.
I don't get that part. Like, you should know certain parts I don't know.
Right.
But I do know what buses run around there, at least some of them.
Right.
Like, I don't know too much about West Oak Lane and
Well, see, that's my stomping grounds.
Germantown. I know the XH run out there. I don't know all them other streets.
Right.
But I know a little bit of something. I'm like, I don't have to go out there for what? I don't know nobody out there.
Right.
I got a couple people like on the outskirts of Shellingham, all that. But I don't know all the buses but I do know one of the buses at least run through there. One bus that run at Fern Rock that will take you through Shellingham to get to wherever you gotta go.
You talking about the 70? Is it the 70?
It's 70. The one that go through Burholm Park and all of that.
Yeah, I think that's the 70. Yeah, the 70. Yeah. Oh God, that's a long bus.
Yeah, and it's done for no reason.
It's a long bus.
Right.
It is a long bus. I remember when I used to take that bus because that's years ago when the movie theater used to be up Cotman Avenue. It was a big movie theater up Cotman Avenue before they tore it down.
Cotman and Large. I used to work right there, like right at Bustleton,
where the Sears and all that stuff was at. Yeah, now it's a big ass Target.
Yeah,
but years ago it used to be that big movie theater, and we used to catch. Me and my friends would catch the bus up there, and it's just a long ride. And don't be up at that movie theater and your mom and them tell you gotta be home at a certain time. Well, you can forget that because the way this bus is moving, and then it takes forever to come.
Yeah. I used to have to try to go out to Franklin Mills. I don't know why.
Well, I ain't never taken a bus
we
out there.
decided to go out to Franklin Mills. Excuse me.
Because that's too far.
Too far, too long.
Too
dumb. Take like 2 hours to get out
there. Then you get up there, there's not a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, what is it for?
Right. It's not a lot of stores in that mall. So it's like, come on. And then when they tried to do the revamp and you're like, well, are they going to add more stores in there?
You're going to call it Philadelphia
Mills. Yeah, no, you should call it Tear the Fuck Down. Because I don't have no stores in there.
No.
It's the gallery. All it is the gallery up in the Northeast.
Yeah, and then one of the young kids just got killed up there last week. Just like y'all young people, let me tell y'all, if y'all want to make it to live, like we got to do better than what we're doing. And just watching the Verzuz last night with the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire and Steve Harvey hosting it. And they were sitting there just talking about the good old days. And you know the first thing I thought about? These young people keep killing themselves. They ain't going to know what it look like to look like this.
Nope.
And that's a shame.
All them men look good. Them older men look good. Like, they have aged to where you can tell that there's wisdom and history behind their eyes. They've seen so much. And to think that, like you said, a lot of these young guys won't even get to see 78 and 79. Like
they into the streets way too early.
Yep.
Y'all don't know how to fight, so y'all want to go pick up a gun. Y'all just shooting, kill. It's gonna be no uncles, grandpops, godfathers. Ain't gonna be none of that. Y'all keep killing each other.
Yep.
And what the fuck was that?
That's because that fan is blowing that bag and stuff.
Yeah, it's at a high rate, and it's just so sad to see. But let me tell y'all something. First of all, I didn't want nobody to be here last night to be watching this with me. But one of my friends, who's kind of like Mikkel, but Mikkel know how to use a little bit of technology. This motherfucker, like, I can't even download the app. I don't have Instagram, I don't have Triller. So I'm like,
he didn't know how to,
I
know how to download.
I know he know how to download, but some stuff you don't know. You know, so he got to call me all the time. He called me 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Even I don't do that.
Yeah, but he came over and because I didn't know I could screen share, like I could share what's on my screen to my TV. I didn't know I could do that.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so what I did was I downloaded Triller, but Triller is no fun. Instagram is where it's at because Triller you could turn your phone to the side, but you don't see no comments. With Instagram, that's when everybody, all the celebrities, all the who's who was there last night, and they put on a show last night. The Isleys and Earth, Wind and Fire, and I was just thinking about all the old people and how they found out about it, but they didn't know how to download the app. And just with it being Easter Sunday, and you know families together, like that had to be something special for them to see that, for them to see some of the members who still are alive of each of the groups just there, and they reminisced and they just had a good time. They had a good time. I was just thinking about how my mom would love to see that. I mean, because she loved Earth, Wind and Fire. Like, I knew of the Isley Brothers, but I didn't remember these songs like that. But I remember some of the songs that came on. But one song, bitch, I was like, Janet sounded like she sampled this. I can't remember. It began with an S. And Ron Isley performed that song. He got his old ass up. And I mean, it was like he was feeling what he was singing. Mm-hmm. They all meant that. Like Steve Harvey, like, he really meant, like, he be going off about the 70s and the music and the messages in the music and all of that. But it's real what the fuck he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And when I was thinking about it, I'm like, you hear this music, like, you can make love to this music. Who want to make love to these mumbling ass rappers in 2021?
Or these non-singing ass singers.
Yeah. I don't want that old shit. I met somebody, he was like, you like that? Oh, yes, because that's my era. Y'all new people, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all got going. Like, y'all ain't got nothing going on. That's why I like to listen to people that saying music was music. Like, it had a meaning. Like, where is the meaningful singers? Where are the meaningful lyricists?
I told you like a few months ago, I was talking to somebody who was born after 9/11, and I felt like I was sitting there talking to him, and he was just like, wow. And I was just like, wait, you weren't even born in 9/11. And 9/11 was over 20 years ago. And he wasn't even born. I was like, oh my God. And he was just sitting there in amazement at the story I was telling him. I was telling him, I was in high school, and then I was breaking it down to him what happened that day, and how my mom called, and I had to go home, and he was just like, wow. Like, he was just shocked. I was like, wait, oh my God.
Them people about to turn 21 next year that was born before 9/11.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, but you know what, Steve Harvey, I was happy. I didn't get to see the verses because I was asleep. But I was so happy for him because I said Steve Harvey has waited for this all his life. Mm-hmm. But he's waited for this.
He was drunk. He was out there crying. I mean,
you say he was drunk?
Yeah,
he could be drunk. Yeah, I mean, listen, I would have had a good time too.
Yeah, I had a good time. Like, my friend came because he knew most of the Isley stuff, and I knew most of the Earth, Wind & Fire stuff. But it was just fun to reminisce and just to have fun to that shit. Because y'all young people, I feel so old, man. I don't know,
that was nice.
It was just a good trip for 4 hours. Mikhail,
yeah, because
I was trying to stay up.
Yeah, that's what my coworker said this morning because she's older and she was like, Mikhail, I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, yeah, because when I got to work, it was still on, but I didn't watch it because I was so upset because I had missed so much of it. Yeah, and she was like, yeah, it was.
I'm sure you can watch a back play of it. Sometime.
I hope so because I really wanted to see it. I really did.
Yes, it was fun. The older people in my job, they were like, but shit, the buffering was messing up. They're like, you know what, I went to bed because I was like, I figured I had to watch it another time. But it was fun. I really enjoyed watching them I think they did way more than 20 songs each. It was a fun trip to the 60s and 70s and 80s and some current music today. And something I'm telling you, Ron Isley, he's been out since the 50s. Mm-hmm. So that's at least, in today's 4 generations that he has
impacted.
Yeah, impacted. And do you know he was such
5.
a good...
Yeah, because no, you're right.
About 4.
Yeah.
Because about 20 years. Yeah. Some of these mothers was having
babies. Right, no, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
But Ron Isley, I don't know who Ron Isley really was till I seen the download video. And I mean, he beat R. Kelly up. He played his role so well. I said, if I ever see him in life, I wouldn't, I don't even want to meet him. That's how good he was in that video. He fucked R. Kelly up. And then one time, we seen him at an award show, and we was like, oh, he really is. Oh, he must be a nice guy. This one videos, bitch, you was believing what you was seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. How about it?
Oh, I don't know why I was believing that shit. That was good. That was some good ass acting on all of their parts.
Ron Isley has been around.
Yes, bitch. He know how to keep his name out there.
That's an OG. Mm-hmm. That's a real OG. Yeah. Okay.
But I was thinking last night, like Shaka Khan got to get her flowers because I mean they was, they was playing her stuff in the background. But I said no, like Shaka really has to get her flowers. Like bitch, she's been around just as long as everybody else. Yeah. Every time she's nominated, she's either she got a solo thing, and her and Rufus, they've been trying to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, what's going on? Why ain't she in there? Put her in there. We don't really talk about her like that. We play her songs all the time. Yo, sample her shit. Like, it's time to give Shaka Khan her motherfucking flowers. Mm-hmm. And she still, I just seen her a couple weeks ago sitting on TV talking about Megan and did you see what
why was she on there?
Yeah, I didn't know why she was there, but she was there. Okay, Shaka Khan. Since I've been living here for 30 years.
Somebody said, I didn't know she was living here. I didn't.
Me neither, I didn't know she was.
Why was she on there? She was getting high.
Shut up. Because she's unpredictable now. You don't know what voice, you don't know what note is going to come out that through.
Yes, but you know what? She can still say.
Yes. And she seems like she know how to have a good time.
She do.
And she got a lot of stories.
And we need to start talking to her about that. Yeah, we should. Somebody can talk to her.
Yeah. Who was doing?
Do a documentary on her. And don't edit nothing out. Because I know them parties were legendary.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't
wait. She said, what's going on?
I can't wait until they start talking about what type of parties they were having in the 90s. What's going on? Because, it's going to be somebody famous going to be talking about, if it ain't me, somebody going to be talking about how good the 90s were. Because that was really the last time music was music. Yeah, you had the little samples and stuff like that. But music
But they were still great
samples. Yeah, you had good music videos. You had good video shows and all of that. Like, music today is all of this.
Everything started to change. Once the early 2000s hit, everything started to change. Yes. Because even in the early 2000s, there was still some good music being made. But after a certain point, things started to shift. I want to say around 2004,
they don't care about singers no more.
Yeah. I want to say 2004, 2005, things started to change. And I want to say that because you still had some good songs in 2000 to 2003, 2004. But around 2005 and all that, once YouTube started to come about and all these, anybody could just get on there and get it. Like Soulja Boy reminded us yesterday, and he's right. He said, I was the first rapper on YouTube. I kind of put YouTube, and he was right. He did. Because he kind of blew up on YouTube. That's how a lot of people found out who he was. But after like 2005, it was like music kind of started really changing. Like you like, what the fuck? Who are these people? Like auto-tune became the thing. Like that guy who was interviewing Aretha Franklin a few years ago, and he said something about auto-tune. He had to explain. She said, well, "What's auto-tune?" He explained to her. She said, "Oh no.
You better not be saying like that."
My generation, we had to sing. Okay. We sang in the studio. We sang on the stage. We didn't lift. We sang. And she wasn't lip singing nothing. She was singing. Okay. Aretha Franklin said, bitch, nobody is going to ever say, I auto-tune to lip sync. I'm not going to do that.
No, we're not.
Jesus.
You know what? At the American Idol and Pride, we had some good singers come out of there.
We did.
You had Fantasia, Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson,
Ruben.
Oh my God, Ruben should have been bigger than what the fuck he was. But when I was watching Verzuz,
excuse me,
bless you, I was thinking to myself, and I tweeted it: why aren't there any black male R&B groups? I know everybody ain't trying to be a solo star, and if you are, sometimes you're meant to be in a group. Like, you could be having good looks, have okay vocals. You don't have to be the solo star. Everybody want to be a solo star.
I just don't know if this generation is just...
You could have them, but where are they?
Like, surprisingly, the Migos are still doing good. They're not R&B, but they're rap. But they're still doing their thing as a group, and there's 3 of them, and they're still doing their thing. But I think that a lot now, it's like, again, they're not in it. Because this generation ain't listening to R&B music. They're just not. And it's so unfortunate because look at Chloe and Halle. Chloe is doing her goddamn thing. And people are already anticipating when she says she's solo. Because it's like now it's kind of like, girl, both of them can sing and both of them are talented. But Chloe is putting that effort out there like, listen, bitch.
She better do something.
And she's putting at her image now that you're looking at her kind of like, yo, why do you need to be with your sister again?
Well, but Holly getting that Disney check right
Well,
now.
listen. So then, so now, why is it that they need to be doing their things together?
But they need to because they're a group, and they
at some point now, it's kind of like
yeah.
To, you know.
But I don't think they're holding each other back or anything.
No, I don't think they're holding each other back either. But I think that Chloe is kind of looking at it like, listen.
Well, she's feeling herself. I'm not.
She is feeling herself.
She's trying to explore her sexuality. Just think of how long maybe she had to hold this person back for so long, because she's been on YouTube for a long time. She's been acting, and she's been in a couple of movies and stuff. Like, you want to feel sexual. You remember?
But I don't want to feel sexual with my sister sitting there with a guitar.
No, you don't. But I mean, shit. Sometimes people do all that stuff. You know. Some people do. Like, you think you're grown. They ain't get a chance to experience being grown. They ain't never had nobody have a chance to tell them you smelling yourself.
Right.
You smelling yourself, or you hot in the ass. She ain't get a chance to do it. So now she's just putting everything out there on the internet and seeing what happens.
And it's
some people like it, and some people don't.
But more people like it.
Yeah. But then she got those that say,
"Oh, he's older man," because he's older man,
and then she pay attention to what she said. But I think she's too small.
Like,
I think she need to think of her.
Yeah, I see. She's perfect. Because I think what's her name? Memphis was all under her stuff. Like, oh yeah, and I'm thinking like, yeah, the woman beat
Toya.
Yes, yes, he was.
Hold up.
And Little Duval too. He gonna post. Oh, how old is that Chloe girl again? And you be looking like
they need to be glad they can still get it up. You know?
They're not old.
Shit. I mean, they ain't Earth, Wind, and Fire and them old, because you don't know when the last time they got it up.
Well, I was thinking probably that night.
And you know what?
And they probably in their dressing room, each package probably had a blue pill in it.
I kept asking who pregnant last night on Twitter, because that's how that music was fucking sexy.
Would you sleep with one of them?
Probably, yeah. Bitch, I sure would. I was sleeping anybody there last night the way I was feeling.
That's all. One of them on the stage. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Isley.
Yeah. You sleep around Isley?
No, bitch.
No, why? Oh, the one with the long hair.
Do you remember that time?
We seen him in L.A. Remember that?
He was like at one of the Gucci stores or something.
No, well, we were in the store and he walked past. And I was standing there looking out the window. What is his name? Verdine. and I'm standing looking out the window and he walked out and I was like, that's the guy from Earth, Wind, and
Bitch, we need to just go out to L.A. just to see what's going on.
He was just walking.
Yeah.
Walked and it was him.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's going to ambush him.
No. No white people.
No.
I knew he was.
You're a fucking mess, because I was going to say it, but now that you whispered that out.
Jesus. Because
sometimes I wish I was born like 5 years earlier. You know, if I could get a taste of the 70s into my, I know some of the songs, but I don't know them word for word like some people do. But they got it. And back in the, like the 90s.
The best music.
Yeah. The 90s was fun, but the 70s, like, bitch,
it's because the people who wrote the songs, it was actually the people writing the songs. They were writing their experiences. Mm-hmm. They were writing what they experienced.
That shit looked like, bitch, it was on and popping.
And think about it too. A lot of people, it's so crazy because a lot of older guys are talking about how a lot of people in the 60s and 70s, these guys would be standing on the corner just singing.
Yeah.
They would stand on the corner singing.
Let me tell you.
They wouldn't be selling no drugs, they'd be singing.
I posted this last night. I posted this on my Facebook that it takes me back to my childhood when the men would get together
and sing.
They would have their beer, they would have that little fucking radio and they would sing and howl like fucking cats to the moon.
Yep.
That's what they would do. You didn't have all that, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna stab you, fuck this, fuck that,
like everybody a rapper now.
Yeah, fuck that. No, they was trying to sing.
No,
everybody a rapper, everybody got a gun, they don't play that shit. Bitch, can you sing? How romantic are you? Like, it's okay.
And don't let a fine woman walk by. Yeah. They just start singing to her when she walking by.
Yes. I miss the project. I just miss everything about growing up. Because this new shit, I don't know who raised y'all. Who? Like who?
My pastor, his brother sings, but his brother sings like them guys singing on the corner. That's his sound. And it works good for him. He's an older guy. He's like, George is like 60, 62, but he still got it.
You remember that man used to sing downtown, rolling around in his thing? They say he was part of one of the groups, but I don't know if he really was.
In his wheelchair?
Yes. He would sing around in his wheelchair, and he would sing, I think it was Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, or he would sing one of them damn groups.
I think I vaguely know something about. And he would have he wouldn't have the microphone and radio, would he?
Yes, he
like
would.
The speaker, yeah.
Yes, he would.
Yeah, he sounded good.
Mm-hmm. He was in there. I don't know if he's still alive.
Probably not.
You know, but yeah, people don't be men don't be trying to sing. Men don't be.
That's because these women are not interested in that no more. And the women that are, they're all older. These young girls, they're interested in what rapper they can get and getting his pants.
Who can fly them out to
Vegas or Miami?
Yeah, throwing their little.
Not realizing you fly your own damn stuff out to Vegas, Miami, because flights are like $40 round trip. And wouldn't have to pay as much money.
We had told our age on this video, and not talking about nothing, but just a couple of news stories.
Yeah,
we gotta do this. We gotta do something. But listen, y'all, I'm good. Y'all know me. I'm all right. I'm a good. Yeah, I'm gonna be sad, but I'm gonna be all right. Just pray for me. If you're thinking about me, pray for me. I'm gonna be all right though. Anything else? I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about.
Well, my shirts are out.
Oh yeah, bitch.
My shirts and my mugs are out. So
yeah.
if you want to purchase the shirt that I have out and my coffee mugs, the link is in my bio on my Instagram page. Okay.
Yeah. I would just like to have
click
one mug.
The link and the bio and go shopping. And this is not going to be the end of not just with the faces, but I'm going to do some other stuff too. Right. That I was thinking about. I was brainstorming. I was thinking about that to be a really good idea. But yeah, support the movement. The link is in my bio on Instagram. Shop away. Yeah, and when you purchase yours, make sure you hit me up with a picture of you, so I can post you.
Some people was upset, and they call themselves writing in my thing like, yeah, because Mikhail blocked me. Like, bitch. Yeah. Don't come.
Well, now I'm on this thing now that
did you see something about Surviving Mikhail?
No. Somebody actually wrote that?
Yes. I said that, bitch. I blocked her. Like, bitch, I'm posting about Jesus, and you're posting about Surviving Mikhail. If he blocked you, please let me know. I mean, it probably would be a good thing to see why he blocked you.
But I'm on this thing now, Kevin, that I do not allow any type of negative energy on my page anymore. Mm-hmm. Anything that's going to cause a back and forth, I just block you. Because I'm not in that space anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm not in that space to argue and go back and forth. Because some people like that. Some people want to challenge you. And I don't mind a good debate. But then some people just want to go back and forth. And it's like, no. I said what I said on my page. If you don't like what I said, you don't have to respond to it. But some people want to respond and they want to argue, oh, well, you're wrong. It's like, wait, we're not going to do this. This is my page. This is in the Shade Room. You have free will and free range to do that on the Shade Room and all them other blog sites. But this isn't a blog page. This is my personal page. Mm-hmm. So that's why now I don't... If you notice, I don't even come on here and tell you I got into an argument with somebody because I don't. I just block. I mean, that's what the block button is for.
Right.
If you don't want any of that in your space, then block. And that's the same thing for me. If you feel like that I am a certain type of way that you don't like, you got two options. Unfollow or block me. Right. I guarantee you I will not lose any sleep at night, and you shouldn't either. Mm-hmm. Surviving Mikhail, wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a show, Surviving R. Kelly?
Yeah. That's why I said, like, bitch, you're not going to do that. Like, if you got blocked, okay. If you want to support his shirts, there will be a link.
It's just people weird.
Don't do that.
Some people are just weird. And they show their weirdness when they do stuff like that. And then you wonder why I blocked you.
Yeah, but then you don't even know what page it's coming from. It could be anybody. Right. Somebody Surviving Mikhail. Bitch, shut the fuck up. But I thought it was funny, but I'm just like, you gotta go. You gotta go.
It's just weird.
Not on Jesus post. You don't do that. Right. Somebody did Mikhail block you. Let me know. Don't worry about it. We getting together. We gonna expose his ass. Like on a Jesus post on Easter. Bitch, you blocked. Then the person I was about before I blocked him said, yeah, I've been blocked by more folks than anybody else. Bitch, you only got like 2 posts.
That's why you were blocked.
Yeah. Just negative. You spread negativity.
Right. That's why I said I don't want the negativity on my page anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't. I want people to come on my page and laugh and have a good time and we enjoy ourselves. Right. You don't need somebody on the page just being a Debbie Downer or a negative person. You just like, what?
You gotta go.
You ever post something and then everybody's just laughing and then somebody say something, you're like, where the fuck did that come from?
Right.
Like Tyrese last night. On the Earth, Wind, and Fire post, I posted, wait a minute. I could not believe he wrote this in the thing.
He's so problematic.
Something is wrong with him. And you know what? I'm starting to think his wife was telling the truth. On the Versus last night, Tyrese left a comment and said, hate that my mother used to drink every day, but she's the reason I know real music. Where did that fucking come from? Right. And why would you write that in that? Everybody's having a good fucking time. And here he comes.
Yeah. And you know, that's why I wasn't reading the message.
When I read the comment.
Yeah. Because it don't even
go with what's going on.
At all. I hate that my mom used to drink alcohol, but she put me into some good music.
Okay. Why couldn't you just say, I love that my mother put me on to real music?
Yeah.
Why did you have to say something about your mother drinking? Nobody asked about her drinking.
Yeah. My alcoholic mother put me on to this type of music. Bitch.
Wasn't nobody thinking about your mother?
No. Like, I just, like...
My alcoholic mother. I hate that my mother used to drink, but she put me on some real music.
I remember my mother listening to this type of music. Just say, I remember my mother listening to them when she used to drink.
Yeah, she ran the call. Not even when she used to drink. When my mother, I remember my mother used to have a good time listening to this type of music.
Yes. And I used to try to drink the beer.
And she put me on to this music because my mother used to know how to have a good time. If you put that, I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Mother used to do one or two things.
Yeah.
Drink or drugs.
Listen.
Or both. Depending on what era you came up in. But to say, oh, I hate that my mother used to drink, like, oh my God, that has nothing to do with this Versus.
Not at all.
Like, leave that negative everybody's having a good time in the comments, and here comes woe is me, Tyrese.
Yeah. It's
always woe is me.
Woe was me, because I'm getting out of here. I got to get ready to go to bed soon.
Well, this was fun.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I didn't see you in 2 weeks, so
a week.
Sometimes we need to
no, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks. Yeah, let me tell you something. So Friday, I got my car. I got my car back on Friday. But Kevin, when I tell you Friday was the first time in a long time I broke down and cried. I got in the house. I turned the key to my door. I got in the house. I walked up the steps. And as soon as I got to my room, this feeling of defeat hit me. And I just broke down, started crying. I didn't even sit down. I stood and just leaned over my bed. And before I knew it, it was a puddle of tears and snot all on my bed. You ever have that feeling like you just feel like you just defeated? And I could not get where that was coming from, but it happened. And then I had to go in the bathroom and wipe my face and everything. But then once I did all of that, I felt good because it was like you needed to let that out. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why it came. But it just was like...
Sometimes you just need to release something.
I just needed to... Oh, my God. I couldn't believe it because I was like, yo, like, this... It was just one of those. Last Friday was one of those days, and I was so happy that I wasn't around anybody because I felt like had I been around somebody, they would have gotten it. But God said, no, I'm gonna let you experience this alone, because that's what I needed. I needed to experience it alone. And I was just like, wow. And I was going to call my sister and tell my sister, but I said, no, she's enjoying herself in Miami. I don't need her to because
everybody's down there in Miami.
Right.
One of my coworkers in there. I want to go somewhere other than somewhere not Miami.
Yes.
Maybe let's go to, maybe I might go to LA this summer. Just go to LA and see what's going on. Haven't been out there in a while. But then again, y'all closed. Y'all not open. Yeah. So,
right.
Maybe go to Vegas.
Okay. And then they doing what the fuck they want to do out in LA.
Yeah. Everybody trying to, the governor won't do this. He won't let us open. He won't do this. Listen, y'all, we're trying to prevent that fourth surge. States are going up. Just put a mask on. Put a mask on. Get the vaccinated. If you want to, just get vaccinated or something. If you don't trust it, read up more on it. Mm-hmm. We all taking the same vaccine. Ain't nobody taking nothing different.
How about this? I'm glad you talk about this, and then we'll be done. But how about this? Isn't it so weird and ironic that some guy I follow? It's so weird and ironic that you have people, they will be so excited to post something negative about the vaccine. Oh, did y'all see? They said this person died, this person died, this person died from the vaccine, this is why I'm not taking the vaccine. And yet and still, they have about 5 or 6 family members who took the vaccine and is still alive and well, and they won't tell you nothing about that. But they'll post about somebody that they don't know who supposedly died from taking the vaccine.
Over 100 million people that took this vaccine, and how many people have died? It might have been a fraud.
And I keep telling people, don't you know that some people died not from the vaccine, but from pre-existing conditions that coincided with them taking this vaccine. They may not have been, shouldn't have taken it. But to say that the vaccine killed them, it's kind of like, why are you so hell-bent on trying to expose this vaccine, and yet and still your mother, your father, your grandmother, your favorite aunt, your favorite uncle took the vaccine, and they're doing just fine, and you're not speaking nothing about that?
What about those that said, I'm not going to wear a mask, and they got that vaccine too? Look at Florida. Okay, everybody down in Florida don't want to wear masks, but they want to get a vaccine.
But they want to get a vaccine.
Oh, but it's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's a hoax.
It's a hoax. It's a hoax. But they want to go get a vaccine. Well, there's a hoax why you get a vaccine.
Yeah, especially in the rich white areas of Florida.
I just thought about that. I said, wait a minute. You got people who are so excited to try to expose something, but they won't tell you nothing about that. Like this girl, she posted something. Now I don't know where this is coming from, but I don't know. I'm not even going to get into this. But she posted something the other day on Facebook about this. It was this article about, that she reposted from somebody's other Facebook. And they were talking about the people dying from the vaccine. And basically was saying, whatever the case may be. So I wrote on her comment and I said, well, I'm here to tell you that you actually know somebody who took the vaccine and is alive and well. And she said something. I said, no, me, I took the vaccine and I'm still here. She's like, oh, well, I actually know other people too. Okay, so then why are you not promoting that? Right. Why are you reposting this? Mm-hmm. What are y'all trying to get from this? Y'all are so hell-bent on trying to get people from stopping to taking this vaccine that y'all not even talking about the people that you actually know who took it and we're still here. Mm-hmm. You're not even talking about us. You talk about people that you don't know that allegedly died from it. You don't even know if that article is real or fake. Yeah. Just like, now, granted, DMX's lawyer.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about DMX.
His lawyer got the wrong information, and I feel bad for his lawyer.
That he was taking off the breathing.
That he was taking off the breathing tube, but he was still. But come to find out that was not true. And see, that's when it's fucked up when you give people the wrong information. But it then was put out there that the information that the lawyer got was false. But there were still people out there posting the information. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's been hours since they recounted this story, and y'all still putting out this false information?
I just feel bad for DMX. Pray for him. Mr. Earl Simmons, he really made a name for himself in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I mean, got some good music, and, it's sad that this has happened. Mm-hmm. He's had a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of setbacks, but he still kept pushing forward, and it's so sad to know that we don't know. I'm not going to say that. But they say he's in grave condition. Yeah. And
it's sad.
He's in a vegetative state, and his family that came out to see him is horrible. But DMX was really that guy. Like, he was hype, but, come on. He did his thing in music. He did his thing in film. Mm-hmm. And just live shows. And we saw him live. Yes, he did. He came out there, and I would never threw the numbers wrong. He came out there. Everybody had a good ass time. When Faith and them was at the Bad Boys reunion. It was just fun, man. And it's just so sad to know that, this is what happened. But I do hope and pray the best for him, his family. And this is such a sad way to end this show, y'all. But we gonna get up out of here. We will see you. We're gonna talk about my shirts one more time. My shirts, the link is in the bio, so we won't leave it on that sad note. So you click the link in my Instagram bio, you buy your coffee mug, a shirt, and there are more to come. So thank you in advance for those of you that have already supported and those of you that are going to support. So we will see you guys later this week. Pick up a shirt, pick up a mug. There's still shirts down right below too, so click that shit too. And we gonna go. We'll see y'all not next week, because y'all getting the video this week. We'll see y'all later this week. Hopefully we don't have to report nothing bad about DMX. I know, right? All right, y'all. Y'all be safe and y'all be good. And Sharon Osbourne is out of a job. We didn't even talk about that. But we'll get her ass together.
As she should be.
Yeah. They let her go. Allegedly, they let her go. No. They said, this is what we're going to let you go, but we're going to say that you're leaving. And then they paid her to leave so she don't sue them. But whatever the case may be. And then, did you see the video today with Whoopi Goldberg making together?
What is going on? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Don't say me what she called her. I have not been able to watch The View all last week.
Because they're on break.
Oh. Because I was trying to figure out why isn't Hulu uploading it.
Right.
Oh, so now they're back.
Yeah.
Are you sure they're going to break? Because I thought new episodes...
They were on break last week.
Oh, thank you.
It was Easter break.
Kevin, I thought there was something wrong with all subscriptions I had.
No.
Even with Basketball Wives. And I found out, no, they just ended. The
Basketball Wives just ended with nothing?
With nothing. They did episode 7, and episode 7, you're like, okay, well, there's going to be another episode 8, because ain't no... And then I'm like, wait, there's no episode 8. So then I Googled, and they was like, well, it just abruptly ended with episode 7. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? No reunion or nothing. I'm like, wait a minute. That's... Nothing. It was no, you know how they usually do the last episodes, so so-and-so is now friends again? No, it was like, wait, there's more. I don't know what the fuck's going on, y'all.
I can't believe it. I'm glad I didn't even watch that. I thought they
this season was all about OG. And OG don't need to come back. She does not need to go back.
They don't need to bring the show back.
She does, but if they do, she don't need to come back, Kevin.
Because
you know what, OG...
Everything said about race now?
Yeah. But you know what? You know what, Kevin? They tried. All of them tried. They all tried in their own way to have a conversation with her. They all went on vacation. Because last year they started filming during COVID. So they went on vacation. But what happened was, because tensions were so high, Evelyn got a house. And her house was her, Shawnee, Malaysia, Kristen. There's a new girl, Lamar Odom's ex-wife, or whatever the case may be. Phoebe didn't come because Phoebe was stuck with somebody who had COVID, so she had to quarantine.
Aww.
And then in Jackie's book, Phoebe came at the end once she was done quarantine. But then Jackie, her house, it was her, Jennifer, OG, and then it was these two other new girls that came, whatever the case may be. Oh my God. Malaysia and Kristen came. Well, first Kristen came to the house to try to have a conversation with OG. OG totally dismissed her, made Kristen feel this small. Then Kristen came back with Malaysia. Malaysia, was really sincere. Like, if I did something wrong, let me... Oh, my God. OG's like, oh, no, it's not if you did. All of you women in this group are colorists and blood. And Jackie said, wait, me? And she said, yes, all of you. I mean, she was just... Jennifer started getting aggravated with her. Jennifer was like, And
Jennifer darker.
And that's what Jennifer was saying. Like, girl, wait, I've been in this group longer than you, and I've never experienced this, and I've had some battles with these girls, but I've never experienced that. And, everybody was trying to, But the thing is, OG revealed that when she was younger, there was a teacher who told her because she was black and she would never... But you're holding on to that hurt, and now you are... You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Maybe they said some crazy stuff to her, Evelyn and Shawnee, and she has every right to feel the way she feels. But when these girls are trying their hardest to try to understand what they did wrong so they can right, their wrongs, you're just totally like, oh, no, I don't know. You girls just try to act like you girls don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to tell you. And they're like, what the fuck, girl? Like, and then they try to tell, like, OG, well, you have some wrongs and some faults, too. Oh, no, I don't have any wrongs, and I'm... Jackie started getting aggravated with her. Like, OG now, bitch. Now you see I'm a colorist. Like, bitch. Oh, my God. Oh... This whole season was about OG, and I hated it. I hated that it was about her. Shawnee even left early. She left the trip early. She said, I'm going home. She said, I'm going home. And Shawnee wasn't even staying in the house with her. She left early. I'm going home because I don't have time for this. And it's COVID, and I want to be with my family. I don't feel like being here with this negative shit. That's kind of like, OG don't need to come back. She don't need to come back.
I think Basketball Wives is dumb.
Yeah. And she thinks that her boyfriend he plays for the NBA. She thinks that he plays for the Lakers.
I'm about to say, dude.
I don't know who he plays with. But again, he must got something in his pants.
Yeah, that's that ugly guy, right? The same
They're
one?
still together, yes. Okay. Daddy. That's what she call him, Daddy.
Oh, another Monique, Lord.
These motherfuckers, man. I tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's another.
Oh, yeah, but I'm going to get ready to go to bed because I got to get up early.
Yeah, he has to go to work early.
Well, thank y'all for watching. We will see y'all next week. Keep saying that. We will see y'all later this week with a new podcast. And then maybe new videos, well.
And hopefully, like you said, no bad news with DMX.
No bad news.
Oh, God, I hope not.
All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. Peace.
But you know, some families don't want to keep their relative
In that vegetative state.
state.
I don't want to.
Yeah. They said